Hi, I'm Steve. You can call me Steve. I don't get out in the sun much. I know, it's hard to believe. Even when I do go out, I don't tan much. I'm about this pallid all year round. I attribute this to living in Australia as a kid for a couple of years. This is highly unscientific, but I figured that after I endured that, the Canadian sun just can't touch me. Come to think of it, I don't recall burning all that much as a kid. But the last time I visited down under, I lobsterized instantly, despite wearing plenty of sunscreen. I'll do another video later about how sunscreens work and don't work. But for now, let's see what's in them, shall we? These are the things that make sunscreen screen the sun. These are organic molecules, and I'm using organic in the chemistry sense, not the hippie sense, that absorb and scatter UV light before it can hit your skin. UV, or ultraviolet, is high energy light that causes skin damage, and the red soreness of a sunburn is your skin's response to that damage. I covered UV in more detail in the radiation video. These molecules absorb incoming UV light and then disperse it. They accomplish this by shaking all their wiggly bits. We call this vibrational relaxation. The UV photon excites the molecule, and then the molecule relaxes through vigorous dancing. It's water. Most cosmetic products, which sunscreen technically is, include water because it's such a useful solvent. The ingredients on this label are in alphabetical order, rather than by abundance of ingredients like normal. And since water is called aqua here, it's near the top. However, this product advertises itself as being waterproof, meaning it shouldn't wash off or dissolve when you go swimming, which means the amount of water in it should be very low. I suspect this water might be here to saturate the mixture, to make it hold what tiny amounts of water it wants to so it doesn't try to absorb it from the pool. Those UV blockers don't play well with water, which is why you need other things to dissolve them in, and yet more things to make those things play with the water. Those long wiggly tails are great for dissolving things that aren't water friendly. However, watery things and oils really don't get along. As long as they're both present, you'll need something to keep them from separating out. That's what the emulsifier is. It forces them to be in one somewhat unhappy phase, what we call an emulsion. This is also why the product is white instead of clear. Milk is also an emulsion, and it's also white. That is not a hard and fast rule, though. If you dissolve a bunch of small molecules in water or oil, you get something that's thin and watery or thin and oily. Neither of those are great at spreading on skin. They'll either run right off or make things greasy. Even making it an emulsion doesn't do much for that. These chunky compounds turn a thin liquid into a thick cream and make it spread more easily, and also stay where you put it. There are microbes in everything. Most of the time, this is fine. They just hang out doing their thing and don't bother you. But a lot of cosmetics contain compounds that bacteria like to eat, which means without preservatives, most products would quickly become overgrown. I made a whole video about how bacteria aren't scary, but that doesn't mean you want to smear them on your face. Sunscreen prevents damage to your skin by intercepting UV rays. What this means is that the UV blockers end up taking that damage themselves. UV light can slice organic molecules to bits and create radicals, molecules with unpaired electrons. These radicals are quite reactive and can then react with oxygen in the atmosphere and create even more vicious radicals. These can rip apart other molecules around them. If the radicals go after the UV blockers, you lose UV protection. If they go after your skin, you can get skin cancer. Yes, this means the thing protecting you from skin cancer can sometimes give you skin cancer. These antioxidants protect against that. As the name suggests, they mop up the oxygen radicals and lock them up in forms that can't do any damage. 3 out of 4 of the ones in this product are vitamins, and they perform that same antioxidant duty in your cells. For that, you need to eat them, and there are better ways of that than drinking sunscreen. This molecule turns up in a bunch of things, and its primary purpose is to scavenge random metal atoms and bear hug them so they can't do any damage. It both keeps heavy metals away from your skin and starves bacteria of trace minerals they need to live, so it does double duty. This is the third or fourth video where the ingredients list has said fragrance and nothing else, which is why the fragrance slides never have molecules on them. A lot of these scents are proprietary formulations, but they're just mixtures of chemicals that smell nice. Most nice scents are chemicals called esters, which you can make by combining a stinky carboxylic acid with a moderately stinky alcohol. It's a standard reaction in high school and university chemistry labs. Esters are also made by flowers and fruits and other things that humans think smell nice. Remember, the difference between natural and artificial is entirely artificial. There are a lot of mildly acidic things in here. You want to keep the pH of your sunscreen within the range of your skin's natural pH, mostly to prevent it from killing off your resident skin bacteria and opening the gates for unpleasant skin bacteria. Adding a weak base like triethanolamine mops up some of that excess acidity. That's sunscreen. Next time I talk about it, I'll go into how it works in more detail and explain SPF, why it's apparently killing corals, and how people I used to work with tried putting it in rocks. Thanks for watching. I've been Steve.